All right. Yeah, very good. Very good. I will put some more coffee on. So yeah, if you go there.
Yeah, and do the old.
And then, go in the old place, and then the stuff will come in here. Basically, I haven't actually looked at this. I know Paul's on. Scott McDonald's from Scotland. Rick Lovering, one of the gigs. Ingo is from Germany.
Oh. What more do you want in life?
Exactly. I'm going to put some more coffee on now. Because I haven't had very much today myself. I've had a bit, but not much.
Awesome.
There's a kind of crib sheet there of what we're kind of approximately going to do, but like always, I just wing it really. But there's at least things to play and videos and all that sort of stuff. That will come to fruition. Coffee.
Yeah, whatever. So, you alright?
Yeah, good.
Good.
I've got to be ginger with this. Like it has a mind of its own.
Okay. It's like me.
Like it's all. Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. Leave it.
It'll be great. It'll be great. Okay, what do I need here? I need this. So the live stream's actually running, but mic isn't on, obviously, at the moment. I haven't set the start string going. But that's chat. That's what I want to see there. Right, cool. Chris Hopkins is on under the name of Digger.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, listen. Let's start it because immediately after we say hello, there's a kind of record spin thing that goes on for the length of the song. So that gives us some, couple of seconds to kind of get it all sorted. Okay, so I'm gonna. You're in there somewhere. Mike is going on. Well, good evening!
Hello!
Oh, hang on, sorry, it's on repeat. I'm gonna, there'll be no more cock-ups tonight.
Yeah, rubbish.
That was the only one. We wanted to get that out of the way first thing.
No chance, me and you.
Yes. That's all good. All good. I'm here with Yanto Cuprero.
Hey.
To use his full name, that is.
Yes.
And we're here because we're talking about The Storm Before the Calm.
Yes,
the song which originated with you.
Yes, it
and
did.
you always felt it needed something else. And
yeah, me and Digger, Chris Hopkins.
Well, Chris quite liked it the way it was, didn't he?
Chris loved it, as he was, but I always felt very similar to Someday, which became Charlie Someday, that it needed a chorus. But it's just one of them songs. I think you spend too much time on things sometimes, and you don't come up with.
Yeah.
Sometimes I went away, came back, and it just didn't. And then you come up with them in 2 minutes, and thanks for that. Just like James came up with.
I know. Yeah. The chorus for Someday.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. But no, it's really good. I think that's how I envisaged it, with a nice chorus.
It's going
blah,
somewhere.
Take it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then obviously the guitar is really good as well.
Okay, well, without further ado, we are going to spin the record.
Let's do it.
Let's spin the record. Here it is. Up on. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, that was something I should have done earlier. Oh, that's the second cock up. Okay, so it's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah.
Sorry, it is just. It is just downloading. Look at that. Well, we carry on talking, shall we? Well, it does its thing. It is doing its thing at least.
Yeah. Waking up like me, I fell asleep. Came home from work, fell asleep, and woke up at like 25 to 6.
But you got here. So
I did, yeah. I did.
That's good.
In the nick of time.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was now. But the other thing was that you always kind of felt it was a little bit low. And also, that was probably the reason why you thought it needed a chorus, because it needed to go somewhere a bit higher.
Yeah, I actually thought when I was writing it that it was really high, and that I might give it to somebody, maybe.
Right. So do it up the octave, you mean?
Yeah, or I thought it'd work well for a female, to be honest. As well, because of but it was quite high, like Aphrodite's Child, kind of Demis Rousseau-y kind of for that time. Right. That's what I was thinking when I wrote it.
Yeah.
And then Chris said, "You can't sing like that. You sound like castrated Bee Gees or something." So then we tried it the other way, which sounded quite good. So.
Yeah, it did. All right, well, listen, I found the record spin, so I'm going to hit that and we're going to stick you on screen. There we are.
When life seems sad, so is an anchor to drop, to help me to stop drifting into harm.
And Michael Dimmock, who's in from Australia, watching from Australia. I have to say hello to Mauro, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Wow, cool. It's definitely international audience today. So if you wish at any time, you can just reply there. You just click on that and type. It was just a false alarm, the storm before the calm, in a teacup on a tray. Extraordinary
as you realize it saved you from despair.
See how the coffee's doing.
And no more mountains to climb. Now you've got the time and happiness to share. If all memories drag you down,
Milk and sugar.
and your mind starts spinning around, no longer as one, especially someone you can't overcome, devotion can be found.
It was just a false alarm, the storm before the calm. There you are, so you can sit up there or wherever you're dancing.
I like to sit on it. Using kind of a coffee request.
There is something one can bring, an extraordinary thing on any ordinary day.
When life seems sad, so is an anchor to drown, to help you to stop drifting into harm.
I might have gone back on one.
Always sounds better with coffee.
So I've no idea why that mic is still on. That shouldn't be on. You know, I've no idea. No idea what's going on. But I assume you were hearing us talking about coffee, and the coffee was in fact ready. It's all right.
Coffee's always good.
Cooper's got a coffee.
Oh, coffee's always good.
I've got a coffee. We're all awake again now.
Yeah, we are indeed.
Yeah, cool. So what it said on there, you probably didn't see it on that screen there, but basically it said the competition prize is one of your albums that we're going to give away. But of course you haven't had any printed, so I'm going to have to print one.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
so we'll decide which one. Yeah, maybe decide which one you're going to give them. You know, they're both good.
It's a minor.
Well, there's three, isn't there? Because there's the old one as well.
Yeah.
I listened to a couple of those on Spotify, and I thought some really good stuff on that.
Yeah, it's quite funny, really, because myself and Chris, we recorded sort of more than three albums with material in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Up to 2003, and then Chris moved up to Liverpool, and I literally didn't write until 2023. So
right.
I didn't write a song for 20
Did you
years.
write any of them during COVID? Was that kind of the thing where you had time on your
I did
hands?
write one song for my degree, because I was doing a degree, so yeah, Forbidden Fruit was written for my degree.
All right.
But yeah, that was the first time I done it, and then Chris has been on to me for 20 years, to be honest, to do some more stuff. So when he said about coming together for Korgis thing, I thought I better get back into it, and wrote an albums with stuff in 2 months, really.
Yeah, it was really quick, and then within any other year there was another album out as well.
Yes, yeah, which I'd written half of that before. Yeah. Within about 2 months, the other one came out, really. But I was on a real streak, and the same with this one, which I've had a 6-month break, to be honest, because my health hasn't been brilliant, but I've got quite a few good ideas ready, which I'm gonna get back to now a bit better. So yeah, that won't take long.
Yeah,
Chris is chomping at the bit.
Thank you, man. I've got, for anyone that doesn't know, of course, the Chris we're all talking about is Chris Hopkins, who is another one of the Korgis co-writers, and we're going to go through a little bit of that in a bit, because I've got an early version of End of an Era Feeling, which of course Chris is doing another alternative mix at the moment. So he's got all the stems. And sorry, Chris, I do owe you the bass synth and the other drum things. I'll try and get to him before I leave tonight, but it might be late.
Yeah.
Might be late. And so, yeah, he's doing an alternative mix of that, which is basically because he had a load of stuff that was on that song, which we kind of, after we put extra instruments on, it's like, well, they can't all be on there. So we chopped and changed a little bit, and he was going, oh, I really like that synth. You took that synth away. And so I was saying, well, why don't you do an alternative mix altogether? Yeah. So, you never know. We might reinstate your vocal on that, which I think would be a nice idea.
Yeah. It was, it was a mad day, really, because I played Someday for the first time that day, and James hated it. Yeah,
he didn't like. What did he say? He said, "Oh, I don't think it's got anything
special.
Don't think it's got anything." And I was going, "No, I think you're wrong. No, I think you're wrong."
And Chris. Yeah, but hey ho,
Oh, well, it all came around because afterwards, he was going, "I really like that song that you played," or whatever. I went, "What? The one you didn't like?" And he went, "Did I say I didn't like it?"
Yeah. But that day as well, we jammed End of an Era Feeling.
In fact, we wrote a lot of that.
Yeah, because I came up with the sort of middle bit that John sings on the album.
Yeah. Of which I'm going to bring up the version of you singing it here. We'll find that in a little while.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But I was sort of, and obviously Chris had a brilliant bassist for a song.
Well, it
was a really good
the first verse
song.
and chorus, and those verses and choruses were knockout, and everyone kind of said that. Everyone went, that song, that's going to be bloody brilliant, that is. So.
But then it sort of expanded then, and yeah.
We just thought, we could put another idea. Oh, we could do another one. Oh, why don't we go into something else?
James came out with a little riff like in the middle, and I just came out with the words and the melody over the top. Yeah. And we recorded, and I thought it sounded like a sort of early-ish kind of Who thing, I envisaged sort of Daltrey singing it,
Yeah.
Like a stabby kind of thing, like with Mooney on drums, sort of. Yeah. And
before that as well, we worked on that, Lift Us Up, which we did as a Beach Boys kind of thing. I can't find that on there. I'll have to look at some point.
I think I was really out of tune that day on the harmonies.
Well, we all did kind of different harmonies on it and did it. Before, I think Chris then wrote the lyrics for that. The lift us up, raise us up. On this world of bad foreboding. He kind of wrote those lyrics for it. But we'd originally done it as Beach Boys kind of ooze for that whole section. Of course, that section then became the whole overture for it all.
Yeah, it was really, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant song before, but then when we sort of took it apart and added other bits to it, it was, really good. And a good album opener.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great song. I think he's a talented songwriter, Chris. Don't tell him I said that.
No, don't tell him. Don't tell him, Pike. Don't tell him your name, Pike.
He's digger on you tonight. He knows. He's watching.
So I've no idea what's going on with the mic, so hopefully I will turn it off from a different location and hopefully it will disappear somehow. I'm sure we'll figure it out. We do have... we have a cryptic question this week, and I'm not going to give you any clues to this yet, but I reckon this quiz question might be so cryptic that you're all lost. And there's a good reason that you might be lost, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'm going to let you all struggle for a little while and see if you can come up with the answer of your own accord. So I'm going to stick it up on screen here, and this one says... How many albums has Ian Cooper released? And for the tiebreaker, please place them in order of composition. That's order of composition. How many albums has Ian Cooper released? For the tiebreaker, please place them in order of composition. So there.
Chris said, checked in the post, mate.
Yes. No guesses from Digger. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll be unleashing some. We'll be unleashing some new tracks this year, and with Al, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it will be great. I do have some other stuff. I have a load of other stuff here that I haven't actually downloaded. I thought I'd done all this and I've forgotten. So I'll get that going just for a little bit because that'll take a second to download. So we were talking about song Someday Charlie Someday, and I do actually have a video of me doing it on my gig last month because I stuck that in because I really like that. So I wanted to put some Korgis in. It was primarily Korgis albums. I mean, almost everyone that was in Britain on this live stream was at that gig. So many thanks for you coming. And I know, and even some of the people that don't live in this country were at that gig, like Ingo. Hello, Ingo. Ingo was at that gig. It was too far for Mauro to come from South America. Sorry it was so far from you. At some point, we'd love to do some gigs across near your side of the world. That'd be nice and sunny because it's not very sunny here at the moment.
No, it's not at all. It's pink cats and dogs.
It is. So, okay, we are just about there. I'm going to grab, this is, excuse the sound is not great because it's from camera sound, but this is me live with my band doing Someday.
A little song we wrote about Charlie.
Oh yeah, wittering on for a little while here.
Someday, Charlie.
It's while I get my guitar on, you see, I have to kind of talk a load of drivel.
That's the end of the silent film era, just as he's wondering about
I'm going to turn this mic
or
off.
not. And of course he does. He goes on to do some great later films, and he eventually relented and stopped doing silent films. But this is where he can't quite make his mind up. 2, 3, 4. Someday you'll find another need for me. Someday I'll shine once more
well, there they are. They seem to like that, didn't they?
Yeah. Nice little song, you know.
People of good taste.
Number 9 on the, what was it? On the
Oh yeah, it was in
Gold Mine.
Yeah, Warren's the gold mine chart. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we had a couple of things that were in there. It was like we
The album's
top
great,
albums,
wasn't it?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, we did well. They seemed to like us.
Yeah. You like your album?
Yeah. And he's also been playing some stuff off Alienated Nations, my album as well, which is very good.
Yeah, cool.
Very, very nice that people have kind of picked up on that. That was a great gig. It was great fun to do that gig. I picked all the band for exactly what I needed them for on those particular ones. So yeah, very good fun. Soon we are going to go to have a little look at the Sonar song for Storm Before the Calm, because sometimes when you hunt around in there you can find little things where you go, oh, I didn't know that was all that was there. Like someone asked me the other day, they said, oh, so who's doing the backing vocals that? And I said, I know it's me, but I don't know if it's anyone else or not. And it turns out I had a little look, and it's Danielle's doing a whole block of backing vocals as well. So yeah, you look around, you find find all of this stuff out.
There's so much on there, you forgot.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, though, it's not like really, like Chris has just had all the stems for End of an Era, and he was going, it's 53 stems. This is making my eyes water. It might have been 102. I can't remember what it was, but it was a bloody lot anyway. And he went, I'm gonna have to bounce them down to make any sense of it. And it made, in a way, that's what the issue was with the mixes. You couldn't possibly include everything, and you couldn't. You just had to make decisions. You went along, so a whole load of things had to go. So it'd be lovely to hear an alternative version of that. But the Storm Before the Calm is quite simple in a way. There's only a few different instruments here and there doing it. Really, there's only a little bit of guitar and solo. I mean, there's obviously the guitar solo. Maybe we should get it up on screen and have a little look. Let's find it here. Yeah, we do need that screen on. Find it. And there it is. I'm going to move this mic around this way a little bit, otherwise I disappear. Altogether. Up on screen, everyone's kind of familiar with this pink things of backing vocals. And here, there's only really a few blocks. Cooper did the main vocal lines there. And then I just put a couple of harmonies in here and there, and then obviously took over the chorus sections. But the harmonies are always interesting to listen to, because especially as we hit that chorus, it goes very Pink Floyd. So the idea here was those girls were all behind Pink Floyd, swaying their arms in time, and all of that going and ooh. And all that sort of stuff. So this is what it sounds like. In a teacup on a train. We sound like a bleeding choir, don't we?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not on this. It's only tune.
Yeah, well, it's kind of in tune, It's kind of in tune. Also, the stuff that Paul did on the drums, we got to a point where Paul just became more and more comfortable with being over the top, when I kept saying to him, more fills. So here's his drums here. etc. Lovely, and kind of in the track you get that. And for anyone that doesn't know, we do the drums with Paul upstairs and me downstairs. And I kind of suggested things like, oh, what about or I'm tapping on my knees, and he went, well, I wish I could see your knees so I could tell which drum you were tapping. Because it all just sounds like you're tapping on your knees to me. So it is quite funny trying to communicate in amongst those sessions.
It's good though how he's built it up and nice little fills and, you know.
Yeah, well, we started with program drums for it, and it was they were good, they were fine, they did what they needed to do, but of course you could always just add that little twist of the knife, you know, once you start sticking real drums on it.
That snare bit is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he knows how to tune a kit, that's for sure. Stuff here. Oh, yeah. So, you know, I mean, the whole rhythm section. It's probably worth just listening to the rhythm section without any vocals whatsoever, because you hear a little bit more how they're built up. I think there really is just a couple of guitars. There's a Hammond. I think there's a piano. Whether that happens in the chorus, I'm not sure it does, but. Single acoustic guitar, single electric guitar, Hammond. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of sitar wailing away in the background there. It's not a real sitar. It's my Variax guitar. So I wanted a little bit of psychedelia. It was Chris's fault because he started with those pianos and go gak 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 gak, and I thought, oh, that sounds quite nice. Maybe we can do more of that. And so I started to put these. Doing that like sitars do. Some of the verse stuff is very interesting. Let's see if I can find. I think where I got to try and find where these are. So yeah, let's find. This is verse 2. I find that. Oh, it's not. Okay, so, alright, so that's just a percussion loop. I was being mistaken. I thought there were a whole load of things on that, but there aren't. All of this rhythm is made up from a Wurlitzer piano and a guitar that goes gak, 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 gak. Chris's piano, that is.
Lovely sound.
But this is where it really starts off. love them. I think they're all brilliant.
Yeah, but Chris playing that made that, the Organ one, whatever, and we loved to get it sounded a bit like the Doors, we both
Yeah.
the Doors.
Yeah.
And it was that kind of chilled vibe, and I thought, we thought it'd be great with the song.
Right where the song ends, that where you do that little short verse at the end, there's all sorts of things, and I'm not even sure how these are made up, but there's a whole lot of things again and stuff.
Probably I was hungry.
No, I think it's sometimes what happens when you have some tempo change and you've got an echo on it.
Yeah.
It all goes whoop, and so tries to like changing horses in midstream. But yeah, all of that's kind of quite interesting. I tried to do a bit of a Dave Gilmour on the guitar solo.
Very Dave, I thought.
I thought it was very Dave Gilmour, but my mate Paul Big was with this afternoon. He said, "Yeah, I can still hear Larry Carlton there, though." And so here's the kind of solo more in ICA. So there's actually nothing very complex about that sound. It's just a bass pickup sound, severely overdriven, tiny bit of reverb, tiny bit of echo, and that's it.
Oh, that sounds really good.
That's kind of it was like I didn't envisage there being a solo there in the first place. It was a bit like Someday. Initially, there wasn't a solo in Someday, and I just thought it feels a bit like verse, chorus, and then we end. And I just thought if we have another dimension before we hit that last chorus, it'll feel like
I can't write middle eight either.
Can't write middle eight.
All verses.
Or are you just lazy? That's all.
Yeah. Chris would say I was probably.
I'm gonna come back down the screen. Yeah, that's pretty much what.
Yeah.
What it has to offer. Oh yeah, so I'm seeing that mic coming in there. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. You have to ask yourself why that is. I have really no idea. Anyway, when we turn it off, we'll turn it off proper. Yeah. So yeah, the whole thing was quite. So it was quite easy because it all arrived to me from what Chris had already done, and so that was an easy thing. And put it together. He put it together up there initially, and then we bounced it back down to me. It was going to be on my own.
Yeah. I'm glad you did something with it because you weren't very happy with me. We didn't do anything with it. After he'd spent all that time when I saw it.
Oh, yeah. But songs kind of don't immediately always come to fruition. Sometimes a couple of years where you think, like, this is the right idea for it and this is the right time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Someday is, God, I think I wrote that in 2001, I think.
Yeah.
Originally,
Yeah.
And just we recorded it about, I don't know, just for the test, there's about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
With different ideas, but
I've heard 2 different versions of it, yeah.
Yeah. But there you are. Sounds better now.
I think it's, yeah. I love it. Chris still isn't sure about that second chord.
Yeah, he's not happy with the second chord. Don't start him off now.
We're not going to start him off. I'm going to go back to the quiz question. I'm just going to have a little look here. Anything on here? So
it might be older than that, Chris. You're right. I'm getting older. I can't remember.
Yeah, I seem to remember you telling me it was late 90s or something like that.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be actually.
Yeah, it might have been. going back up to the quiz question back up on screen. How many albums has Ian Cooper released for the tiebreaker? And please place them in order of composition. Please place them in order of composition. So I think Paul G's the only one that's had a guess. What I would say for those, if anyone is actually struggling to find him and have gone searching around YouTube and searching everywhere and whatever, it could be under several different names, you know. I mean, I've been calling him Cooper. It could be under the name Cooper. It could be under the name Ian Cooper. It could be under the name Llanto Cuprero, which of course is his full Spanish name.
Under the name Cuprero.
Or it could be just under the name Cuprero.
Yeah.
So there we are. That will give you some ideas of where to look. So see if we can have any more guesses. And if you find them, it then becomes quite evident what order they are in.
Yeah.
And you may win the prize.
Chris has been with me through Dad. Yeah, 98. I think you're right,
98.
Chris. Yeah, I think so. God, yeah.
He's got used to the second call now. Only took about bloody 2 years, didn't it?
He's starting to warm to end of an era feeling.
Yeah. We're going to go back down on screen here. Okay, lovely. So that's all good. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do something for... I should just say hello to some of the other people today. I was hello to Ingo, hello to Mauro. The two Ricks, Rick Nicholas, Rick Lovering are there. Who else is there? Oh, Paul Smith's there. Oh, there we are. Hello, Paul Smith. Very nice. We were just extolling your virtues on the bashing the drums. The bashing of the drums.
The lovely little snare bit was fantastic.
Yeah. There's a good few bits there. Who else have I forgotten? Scott from Scotland, of course. We bumped into Kinross, had a conversation at Kinross. Elaine, hello! Nice to see you on here as well. Are you with Paul or are you in separate rooms? Just asking.
Separate pubs.
Oh, and Michael Dimmick, of course, from Australia. He's from near my hometown in Australia. He's kind of Melbourne-ish based. And I'm from a place called Geelong.
Yeah.
Where they have a football team called the Cats. And that's why everyone knows Geelong. It's because of the football team. There we are. I have something for Mauro. I have the live version of Don't Look Back, because Don't Look Back was a big hit in South America, bigger than Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime was, because he used it on a show that was like, might have even been a daily show. It was like the equivalent of Coronation Street or whatever. It was an interesting show because it was the literal translation is Summer Sun, I think. But halfway through the filming, the lead actor died in real life.
Right.
And they just never explained it. They just carried on the series without him. But there we are. So we have a version of this. This will take a second to download because I'm very lax here as well. But we've got the version of Don't Look Back that we did with an orchestra. And I've recently been mixing some of the stuff from the Korgis with orchestra, and we've only got like 3 songs or something at the moment. But Don't Look Back sounds good. Something About the Beatles sounds amazing. But I'm going to do a little bit more work on them, and maybe we'll see if we can get somewhere near a live album, whether or something like that. We'll have a look. But it was a particularly great concert. It was like we had 6 strings, 6 horns, as well as a whole band and everything. So great fun to do. And as a few people I know, a few people on the live stream who managed to get there that night. So this is Don't Look Back from that concert in Trowbridge, I think in 23. End of 23, I reckon that's when it was. Arriving right about now.
I can hardly say down the road. I've monopolized your life too long. I know that certainly something's gone wrong. Turns out I can hardly say that turns out
Aha! There we are. That was especially for Mauro out in South America. Don't Look Back. Love that song. I always loved that song. So it was really good. It was originally produced by Trevor Horn.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And apparently James always says, do you know, I messed that up because Trevor kept having suggestions and I kept going, I'm not sure. I quite like the way it was originally. He said, what an idiot I was. I should have actually just said, Trevor, whatever you want to do, just make it into a smash hit and, I'll do whatever you say. But there we are. Things you do when you're young.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Great. Korgis news. We have what was I going to say? Next week, a week Saturday, Crier Arts just outside London. Possibly, we don't have any other London dates in this year. So if you're in a London vicinity, try and get along to that one. It should be a goodie. And also, I think not too long after that, we have a festival in Bath. And so it's a kind of Bath-wide festival. It's a whole load of different venues. I don't even know which venue we're on at the moment, but it's put on by Matt Owens from Noah and the Whale. Noah and the Whale. It's put on by Matt Owens. And so we are on the Saturday night. I think it's March 22nd. Something like that. And then there's a gig near Southampton. So again, anyone on the south coast, again, we don't have any other gigs on the south coast at the moment. The rest of them are up north, which is in Hanger Arts Centre, which is just on the outskirts of Southampton. So see if you can make that one as well. And then we are doing a Beatles Fest in Felixstowe. It's a 3 days Beatles Fest. I believe the Quarrymen are on. There's a Beatles tribute as well, but we're opening up on the Friday night. And this is all at the Felixstowe Spa Pavilion. So it should be great. They've got a big screen, I have just heard. Big video screen, so that's great. I don't need to hump the TVs. Brilliant.
Yeah, well done.
Brilliant stuff. And they put a PA in. They originally weren't going to do that, but it's all in hand now, so that's absolutely brilliant. Have I got the dates for that? Felixstowe, Felixstowe, yes, June the 20th. June the 20th we're on, but it's on the 20th, 21st, 22nd. Also our friend Nigel Pearce, who's from, I think, BBC Suffolk or BBC Norfolk even, I can't remember which one. Must be Suffolk, surely, Felixstowe, is doing his own kind of take on the Beatles show because he was inside the Apple building at the time and stuff, and he has a whole load of memorabilia and he does a whole big talk about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
That should be good. And you, when do you start your album, do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say I've had a bit of a break. I haven't been well, to be honest. So, but I'm getting there slowly. So, yeah, anytime, getting the itch again now. I've written a lot of melodies and words because that's how I start. I never start with a guitar.
Right.
The melody just comes to me. And
so you just kind of sing lyrics and get sort of snippets.
Then start.
Do you record them anywhere?
Yeah, on my phone.
I was going to say, same here.
Yeah,
same here. I got a load of stuff on my phone.
I've got about 180.
It's going to be a big album then.
No, not just for this. But I've got for the last three.
Right. Yeah.
So, but there's about 30 for this one.
Wow.
Little snippets and ideas and
Yeah. I worked with a great songwriter called Lyndon Morgans last year, and he said before he does an album, he does like 3 exercise books of lyrics for the album, and he'll just write, and then he'll figure them out into songs. And so sometimes he'll take some from one and stick them in another, and some from another.
Yeah, I tend to write lyrics quite quick. As soon as I get the vibe, what it's about, I'm fairly quick with the lyrics. The music I'm not brilliant on. I'm under your Chris in particular's guidance. He keeps telling me I'm playing the wrong. I'm like the Les Dawson on the guitar, to be honest. But we have a love-hate relationship. I love it and it hates me. But I do enjoy playing the guitar. But there's not many. There was one song. On the first, Guided. I can't say, Guided, which was We're All Together, which I came up with a riff on the guitar first, which doesn't very really happens, to be honest.
Right.
But someday I came up with I came up with the riff on the guitar first.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm random. I think I'm really random.
Mm.
It can be any kind of starting point, really.
But I've got 3 songs definitely going to be on the next one.
Yeah.
One called Hallucinogen.
Okay.
There's another one called Bigger Than the Sky.
It's not that title.
Yeah,
and Quagmire. Oh. So they're definitely going to be on there. And I've written a song called The Artist's Contessa as well, which is where a guy falls in love with this girl in Italy.
Right.
So yeah. But yeah, it's been mad, but it's good.
All right. Fantastic.
So yeah, it won't be long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we'll look forward to that. In a couple of minutes, we'll come back and reiterate the competitions. There's been a couple of very good guesses.
Oof, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
We'll come back. And I think that's right. I don't think I.
He sends these little bits over to me like a sparrow. That's great. Thanks, Chris. Bigger Than the Sky is awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab up a very early version of End of an Era Feeling, and we're going to just grab your bit, that second bit that you wrote. Now, for some reason, it's come up, and some of these backing vocals are going. I'm missing now. I can probably find them if I look around for them, but I had to listen to your bit. That kind of works all right the way it is, so we won't worry too much about it. But so this was after Chris, who wrote the main verse and chorus of the song, and then between the four of us, because it was James, myself, Cooper, and I'm going to skip all of those, and Chris, we came up with a kind of Beach Boys section afterwards, was followed immediately on from it, and then on to the bit that you did, which was the End of an Era Feeling.
Yeah.
Shook me to the core.
Very, as I said, I had the Who in mind there.
Yeah. And then James gone on with the, he went dun 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 dun.
I know, yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
And freaked us all out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if his vocals on here, because basically he doesn't ever sing any words. Well, he does sing words that make sense, and he's quite good at kind of just making them up. But initially when he sings, he just sings anything. And they'll come out as kind of sentences, but they just don't mean anything a lot of the time. So anyway, I'm going to find this.
I think when he's singing, like repeating, got the love, you got the feeling, and that you believe in, or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He usually has love in there. Someone, you got the love, got the girl.
Yeah, I think it was. Got the love, got the feeling.
So this is coming into the middle eight. Before that, for some reason, all our Beach Boys harmonies are gone, but I will have a look round for them at some point and see if I can find them. But we're just coming into Cooper's bit.
End of an era feeling, it shook me to the core. I wanna hold your hand, just like in '64. I never used to feel love, now I feel fine. I'm running scared at the 69. End of a road, something is coming.
So by this time, I'd obviously written the lyrics for "End of the Road, Something's Coming." But I'm trying to see if there's Chris there. I'm just trying to see if I could find James's original vocal, but doesn't appear to be there. Appears to be missing somewhere. You would have thought it would have been around somewhere.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Chris's version as well.
Oh yeah. I'm glad to hear that. That'll be great. Because I love them when they first arrive. I could go, well, you could just use them exactly, as they are. They kind of work well for me. I think I'm more comfortable with them than Chris is a lot of the time. Because he's always going, oh, I'm not sure about that. Oh, no, it's like, I think we need to get rid of that synth. And he kind of goes more and more for organic instruments, whereas his first idea was these synths in the 80s kind of thing. And then he always backtracks and goes, oh, no, I think we need more guitars on it, etc. So that's where we end up, with all of those. But yeah, the whole thing was great fun to do. It was a great day, that was, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Well, it didn't start off so well, but
yeah, I know. Because that was the very first thing we did once you played Someday. You and Chris played Someday, and Chris was going, you're going to love this, James, you're going to love this. You're going to love it. It's like here, there, and everywhere. It's that chord sequence, James is going, oh, no, don't explain anything. So you had to come back and vindicate yourself.
Exactly. My little bit. No, it was good. It was good fun. And
yeah.
Like the old-fashioned way of doing it.
Yeah, I know, and we kind of don't do that very often these days, do we? You end up, you send things back and forwards to each other. I think it's a double-edged sword sometimes. Sometimes you get great stuff sat in a room that you wouldn't get otherwise, but there is always a pressure to deliver quickly.
Yeah.
And something I've learned about my writing, that especially if I'm writing lyrics, I'll sometimes sit for about 20 minutes and almost not write anything. And just try and formulate little ideas of how they'll work, and then all of a sudden we'll go push, and it's all done. If I don't get the chance to actually do that, to think about where exactly is it going and what am I trying to do here, then I don't. I sometimes think things get lost that a little bit more time would have. I know there are times where James is going, oh, that's good enough, isn't it? I'm going, no, I think we can do better. And take me a middle mile. I go, no, this is it. Whereas he would settle a little bit earlier for that. But I think if there's a line that I think, well, I'm not really sure that means what it's supposed to, or it's not very clever, or it's been done before, then I'd rather kind of work until we get something that's a bit more unusual, or something that makes me laugh. A lot of the time, that is my criteria for a line that.
I know I should bring more humour into. I have my little puns and play on words in the songs, but I should bring more humour. Too serious.
It's like I think Chris cracked up when he heard my line. The village vicar used to inquire. He's now more inclined to open fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that line.
Wow.
The vicar with the gun. Yeah, he's just saying that in the comments.
And then Alan brought that bloody vicar with a gun.
Ah, yes, it was very good fun. Good fun. So I think we've almost come to the point where we need to talk about the competition and whether we have a winner or not. I'm going to stick it back up on screen. We're going to reiterate what it is. Here we go. How many albums has Ian Cooper released? And for the tiebreaker, please place them in order of composition. And okay, I think Paul was way in there very quick and said 3, and that was absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But then, Rick came in, and it's Rick Lovering, isn't it? 3 albums: A Walk in the Past, Guided by Ursa Minor, and Smorgasbord, and that is absolutely correct. So, Rick, you got the tiebreaker right. So, so that's what tiebreakers are for. And yeah, the reason it was order of composition because 2 of the albums there, I think, were listed as 2023, weren't they?
Yeah.
But of course, 1 is older compositions. That you released as they were, didn't you? You didn't redo them. Did you remaster them or anything?
Yeah, Chris remastered them. Yeah. I can't find my socks without them, No, in all fairness, we talked about it for a while, and he said, I think, we should remaster them.
Yeah.
He did want to re-record all of them, but because, it made me sound a little bit dated, but then I loved the beauty of that. I thought, well,
yeah,
we should, this is what we had to work with at the time.
This is what it was at the time,
but we did sort of re-record Glade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Yeah. And there might be another one of them coming up because I've got quite a lot of older tracks, so I might do a second one because that disjointed song is from that time written. So when we finally get around to doing the vocals to that, we got quite a few songs still. But Chris has already remastered. I think we got 9 or 10 left.
Right.
So we do that and
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so Rick, you won. I've forgotten which album were you going to give Rick?
Guided by S Minor.
Okay, Guided by S Minor. So this was the comeback album.
Yeah.
It's got some good stuff.
I prefer. Yeah, I gotta be. I do.
I
like
Small
the
as
two
What.
of them, but I do have a soft spot for that because it was when I came back and
Yeah. It's probably a little bit like the Korgis when we came back with Cartoon World.
Yeah.
It's like you only get one chance to make a comeback, really.
Yeah.
Unless you take another sabbatical for another 10 years and make another comeback. But that was a comeback album, and we knew that had to be good in order to be taken seriously. I think after that, when we started doing the ALienated Nations stuff, we didn't have as much to prove, and it was not that we wanted the quality to be any different than that, but we didn't necessarily want to make a pop album, which Cartoon World is more of a pop album, and ALienated Nations is definitely a bit more arty here and there. Having said that, Cartoon World does have its songs like Space and stuff that are very arty. So there we are. I'll need to make sure that I've got masters for that. If not, you might need to send them to me and I'll burn off the CD and send them through to Rick.
I know a man who can.
We know. We know.
Honestly, I can't find your socks.
There we are. I think that's around about it. I think we covered most of them. You tell me what.
Yeah, we should have said. Yeah, I'm actually Cuprero, just to let everybody out who didn't know.
Oh yes, you are Cuprero. If you need to find him, he's on Spotify and he's very easy to find once you put Cuprero in. And I found that if you put Yanto Cuprero in, you don't come up.
No.
You don't come up. You have to just use the one word.
No.
There's a whole lot of other Yantos came up, but not. And of course, the Yanto who was killed in Torchwood, the fictional Yanto who was killed in Torchwood, that they still have a shrine down the bay to. You know that? They've got they have flowers everywhere and all that. And then we had all of the floods and everything, washed them all away, and they went and they put them all back.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. They do anything for a fictional. The actor is still alive,
Yeah.
He's still there.
If ever he was walking past when they were, who knows? Yeah, the doctor went back in time and just dropped me off to see my own shrine.
So you can check out those 3 albums on Spotify for sure. They're on a load of different.
They're on
Apple Music.
Apple. They're on YouTube. They're on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on everything really.
Yeah. Cuprero, double O's. Cuprero.
Yeah, COOPRERO. Lovely, thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so I think we are then just going to say thank you, everyone, for. Oh, he's going to say I'll chuck in my last Exhibit album as a bonus. Excellent.
Well done, Chris.
Excellent. Well done, Chris. Brilliant stuff. And that is a good album as well.
Yeah, really good album.
It's got some great stuff on it.
Good album.
Yeah. I've redone the video a little bit because when you came back and said, "Oh, it's supposed to be I'm supposed to be a tramp in this or whatever," and I went, "No, I think you're supposed to be an angel. Really, you're supposed to be the guardian angel of this."
No,
person.
my wife said I looked like a homeless man. That's what it was.
Okay,
and she's not wrong.
Well, I've changed it because I put an angelic glow around you now.
Oh, as if.
Kind of suits you. It suits you. Yeah. And there's a surprise at the end.
Sort of liposuction and.
Let's make sure that I have got this, that I haven't messed this up. Thanks so much. We're going to leave you with the brand new video for The Storm Before the Calm with Cuprero as an angel, and me, I am floating above the sea as some kind of Indian guru. I think I'm a guru.
I loved it. Yeah,
I think it's quite interesting.
I'm a homeless man. He's a guru. I like
He's an angel now. Yeah, you're going to see. You're going to
Oh, well, he will.
I bloody have got a glow around me. Here we go. The storm before the calm. Thanks so much. See you next week. And next week we're here with Danielle Nichols.
Ah, fantastic.
When life seems sad, soul is an anchor to drop, to help you to stop drifting into harm. The storm is bad, and there's a strong wind to bear. You need someone there to re-establish calm. If the waters drag you down, if the tide stops swirling around, when you're on the brink, you start to sink. I hope that you think redemption can be found. It was just a false alarm, the storm before the calm, in a teacup on a tray. There is something love can bring, an extraordinary thing on any ordinary day. When love is had, you can open your eyes as you realize it saved you from despair. No longer sad, and no more mountains to climb. Now you've got the time and happiness to share. If old memories drag you down, and you might start spinning around, no longer as one, especially someone you can overcome. Devotion can be found. It was just a false alarm, the storm before the calm, in a teacup on a tray. There is something love can bring, an extraordinary thing on any ordinary day. When life seems sad, soul is an anchor to drown, to help you to stop drifting into harm.